हाँ जी कैसे हैं आप सब। हैप्पी ट्यूसडे टू ऑल ऑफ यू। मैं हूं जेमी ऑल्टर, आप देख रहे हैं क्रिकेट विद जेमी ब्रॉट यू बाय डैफा न्यूज। आज का टॉपिक है दोस्तों एक ऐसा टॉपिक जो हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, बट आई वांट टू सी वेदर यू बिलीव, बिकॉज़ आई एम नॉट सो श्योर इट्स पॉसिबल कि एक छोटे समय में यानी कि 5 दिन के अंदर, सॉरी 4 दिन के अंदर क्या इंडियन टीम की बैटिंग कुछ बदलाव ला पाएगी, नेसेसरी बदलाव जो कि ब्रिस्बेन, क्योंकि बात सिर्फ अब ब्रिस्बेन की नहीं, ये बात है ब्रिस्बेन, मेलबर्न, बॉक्सिंग डे टेस्ट मैच और न्यू ईयर्स टेस्ट मैच सिडनी की। इंडिया कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू लूज एनी मोर मैचेस इफ दे होप टू गेट टू द WTC फाइनल। चांसेस बहुत कम हो चुके हैं। साउथ अफ्रीका ने कल श्रीलंका को हरा दिया, एक और मैच जीत जाए। साउथ अफ्रीका के पास 2 मैच है घर पे अगेंस्ट अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान, विन वन एंड देर कंफर्म्ड फॉर द WTC फाइनल। खैर फाइनल को देखते हैं बाद में। पॉइंट ये है कि जैसे कि हमने कल के शो में डिस्कस किया था, जो 4 पारियां खेली हैं रोहित शर्मा की टीम ने या जसप्रीत बुमराह की टीम इन द फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच, इंडियन टीम, लेट्स नॉट टेक कैप्टन नेम, लेट्स जस्ट कॉल इट द इंडियन टीम या टीम इंडिया। 4 पारी में ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर इस सीरीज में 3 बार टीम 200 रन तक नहीं पहुंच पाई है। ठीक है। फर्स्ट इनिंग्स बैटिंग हैज बिकम प्रॉब्लमैटिक। वी सॉ दिस इन द न्यूजीलैंड सीरीज, 46 ऑल आउट, फिर एक मैच में 155 160 के करीब। और जब भी इवन इन दैट न्यूजीलैंड सीरीज टीम ने बड़े रन बनाए पहली पारी में, तो वो 270 280 के पास, 300 ज्यादा समय के लिए हम नहीं देख पा रहे हैं कि टीम लगातार बड़े बड़े स्कोर्स बना पा रही है। जो कुछ बड़े स्कोर्स आए, चाहे घर पे हो या ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, इट्स कम इन द सेकंड इनिंग्स व्हेन बैटिंग हैज प्रोबब्ली बीन एट इट्स इजीएस्ट। सो व्हाट आर द प्रॉब्लम्स? वेल आई वी नो कि जायसवाल ने बहुत बहुत कुछ हासिल किया है कम समय में एज एन इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेटर। He's got 2 double hundreds, 2 scores in excess of 150, यानी कि बंदा 4 बार 100 लगा चुका है। जब भी बंदा जो आपके स्क्रीन पे है, जब भी यशस्वी जायसवाल 100 बनाते हैं तो बड़े सेंचुरीज बनाते हैं, 160 165 और फिर 2 डबल सेंचुरी। लेकिन फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में उनका आजकल इतना फॉर्म अच्छा नहीं है। इस सीरीज में यानी कि BGT में, इन द फर्स्ट इनिंग्स ही हैज 2 ducks, and in the second innings he's got 161. I'm not being critical of Jaiswal because he's young. He's just completed about 15 odd months as a test cricketer. बहुत बहुत लंबे समय तक ये बंदा खेलेगा। पर इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जहां पे बैटिंग करना बहुत मुश्किल है पिछले 7-8 साल में, और नई गेंद पे, खासकर मैच के पहले दिन में, पहले सेशन में, दूसरे सेशन में, जहां पे बैटिंग मुश्किल है, he's got 2 ducks. I'm not writing him off. He's a big prospect. लेकिन यदि इंडिया को इस सीरीज में रहना है, इस सीरीज को जीतना है, इस सीरीज को इवन स्क्वायर करना है 2-2, Jaiswal is going to have to score a lot more runs in the first innings. Tough maybe for me to be critical of him because he got that brilliant 161, but that came in the second innings when conditions were easier. The challenge for Jaiswal, all of 23 years old, is to figure out how to score against Stark and Cummins and maybe Josh Hazelwood in the first innings. और मेरा ये मानना है कि जब भी ये लड़का समझ जाएगा इस बात को और 50 बनाएंगे, 60 बनाएंगे, प्लेटफॉर्म सेट करेंगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, तो ओवरनाइट आई बिलीव इंडियाज चांसेस ऑफ स्कोरिंग रन्स विल गो अप। The next man is KL Rahul. KL Rahul, we know, we've discussed him. Where should he bat? He's got his chances as an opener. Played very well in Perth. पहली पारी में सिर्फ 26 बनाए, लेकिन उन्होंने प्लेटफॉर्म सेट किया। He showed कि आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बैटिंग कैसे कर सकते हैं। आप छोड़िए बॉल को, लीव द बॉल, टायर द बॉलर्स डाउन, ट्राई एंड प्ले द फर्स्ट आवर, ट्राई एंड टेक द मैच इनटू द फर्स्ट ब्रेक। एंड ही वाज इनकरेक्टली गिवन आउट इन द फर्स्ट इनिंग्स, बट इन द सेकंड इनिंग्स अलोंग विद जायसवाल, जो 77 रन्स बनाए केएल राहुल ने, तकरीबन 200 गेंदे खेले उन्होंने, ही शोड कि अगर आप एप्लीकेशन दिखा दें अपनी गेम में तो आप टिक पाओगे। अफसोस की बात है कि केएल राहुल, लाइक ऑल द अदर इंडियन बैट्समैन बॉलिंग नीतीश राणा, वो नहीं चले पिंक बॉल टेस्ट में जो 2.5 दिन में खत्म हुआ। किसी भी भारतीय बल्लेबाज ने 50 नहीं बनाया। द हाईएस्ट स्कोर was Nitish Reddy in both innings. Once again early days because you cannot really say something on 2 failures, but केएल राहुल की एक पुरानी आदत है कि एक बड़े इनिंग्स के बाद, चाहे वो 80 या 90 या 100 हो, वो अक्सर वापस खराब फॉर्म में जाते हैं। Too early to say because all of India's batsmen struggled against the pink ball under lights, but let's hope that KL Rahul is not going back into that familiar pattern of a big 50 followed by low scores. ठीक है। शुभमन गिल बहुत साल तक खेलेंगे, हो सके आगे जाके नंबर 4 पे खेलेंगे विराट कोहली के जाने के बाद। बट द पॉइंट इज कि सेना कंट्रीज में इनका रिकॉर्ड काफी खराब है। सेना कंट्री मींस साउथ अफ्रीका, इंग्लैंड, न्यूजीलैंड एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया। That said, he's only got very, very few sample sizes. दो ही टेस्ट मैच खेले साउथ अफ्रीका में, too early to judge, one in New Zealand and all of two in England. So I will not, or I'll put an asterisk next to his name. But the point is कि सेना कंट्री में अक्सर शुभमन गिल प्यारे प्यारे 28, 30, 32, 35 बनाते हैं और फिर या तो खुद की लापरवाही के कारण या फिर लाइक दिस ब्यूटी ऑफ अ बॉल फ्रॉम मिचेल स्टार्क वो आउट हो जाते हैं. You're batting at number 3. You're a very, very fine, talented batsman who could be playing for 10, 12 years at least Test cricket. आपको कहीं ना कहीं वो लेजीनेस को बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा अपने गेम से. कितनी बार हम देख चुके हैं सेना कंट्रीज में शुभमन गिल आते ही प्यारे प्यारे ड्राइव लगाते हैं, अच्छे फ्लिक शॉट करते हैं, ऑन ड्राइव करते हैं, लेकिन वही 25 और 35 के बीच में अक्सर सेना कंट्रीज की बात कर रहा हूं ये आउट हो जाते हैं. ही इज बैटिंग एट अ वेरी वेरी क्रूशियल, परहैप्स द मोस्ट क्रूशियल पोजीशन इन इंडियाज टेस्ट लाइनअप एंड राइट नाउ scoring pretty 28s and 30s. Yes, it's a low scoring series, but you're not going to win many matches when you're not getting past 28 and 30. In the pink ball test, जो कि जैसे मैंने कहा था केवल 2.5 दिन का मैच था ये, दोनों पारी में शुभमन गिल, to my mind, आप लोग अपने व्यू शेयर करिए, he looked the most settled, the most confident, the most pretty of all the batsmen, but both times got runs 30 and 28 and failed to go on. Next batsman on our screen, the one and only Virat Kohli. Acha 100 lagaya, 30th test century, but like again, asterisk next to that 100 because it came in the most perfect of batting conditions. Otherwise, his 3 scores have been very, very low. आपके स्क्रीन में आप देख सकते हैं विराट कोहली बैटिंग एवरेज इस सीजन में यानी कि 24-25 की सीजन जो कि सितंबर 19 को शुरू हुआ था, 7 टेस्ट मैच के पहली पारी में, and that is the problem India have, getting runs in the first innings, चाहे घर हो या बाहर हो, विराट कोहली का बैटिंग एवरेज केवल 10 का है. In the same situation, he missed 1 test match. In 6 test matches, in the first innings, रोहित शर्मा averages 8.66. यानी कि जो 2 सबसे बड़े स्टार्स हैं, सबसे दिग्गज अनुभवी बैट्समैन हैं इस टीम में, वो दोनों ओवरऑल नहीं चल रहे हैं, खासकर रोहित जिनका फॉर्म बहुत बहुत खराब है इस सीजन 6 टेस्ट मैच में. बट neither batsman, the captain and the former captain, has been able to deliver in the first inning. So you have struggling KL Rahul, you have a struggling Shubman Gill, you got a very consistent Jaiswal overall and a very consistent Pant. But the runs have to come, my friends, from the 2 biggest batsmen in this team. और जहां पे विराट कोहली की बात हो, yes, he got that fine 100, but the same problems. वो बॉल को जज नहीं कर पा रहे, ऑफ स्टंप किक के बाहर वो निक ऑफ बहुत बार कर रहे हैं. और ये नई समस्या नहीं, ये काफी टाइम से समस्या है. मैं पहले भी कह चुका हूं अपने शोज पे, विराट कोहली हैज नेक्स्ट टू नो बैकफुट गेम अगेंस्ट फास्ट बॉलर्स. अनलेस द बॉल इज शॉर्ट, he'll pull the ball, but when the ball is short and wide, there is no back foot punch, there's no square drive. He doesn't even have a square cut against the fast bowlers. His go-to approach is front पर पे आओ, aggressive रहो, crease से एक कदम बाहर निकलो, attack, attack, attack. When it comes off, the man looks bloody brilliant. But when it doesn't work, and frankly, पिछले 4 साल में it's not worked that often, you see Virat Kohli nicking off. So we've discussed him, we've discussed the problems that Rohit Sharma has in this season. यानी कि 24-25 टेस्ट सीजन में Rohit Sharma is averaging 11. That is just not good enough for the captain. It's not good enough to hold your place down as an opener. और जैसे कि हमने कल के शो में डिस्कस किया था और 2 दिन पहले का वक्त शायद दूर नहीं है जब टीम को, रोहित शर्मा को सोचना पड़ेगा यदि वो फेल होते गए कि बंदे का रोल क्या है इस टेस्ट टीम में. So we've seen the struggles of the top 4. We'll come to the next batsman. Number 5 पे दोस्तों ऋषभ पंत. ऋषभ पंत ने 1.5 साल के बाद वापसी करी. It's not been the most promising of returns, but there have been innings of the past. They've been sparks of his batting. I understand कि उनका एक ही गेम है, वो ज्यादा अटैक करने की कोशिश करते हैं. हाँ, आजकल वो नहीं चल रहे हैं, वो भी 25-30 के आसपास नहीं बढ़ पा रहे हैं. But a man who's done so much in Test cricket to make people, really turn their heads and say, wow, this guy, more than T20s, more than one days, इस बंदे का actual natural fit is actually Test cricket. But the problem is you're batting in a very, very crucial position. अफसोस की बात है कि ऋषभ पंत के ओवरऑल अगर हम देखें, मैक्सिमम टाइम जब वो बैटिंग करने आए नंबर 5 पे, तो शुरुआत खराब रह चुकी. 80 पे 4, 60 पे 3. It's often been tough for him to come out and bat. But the good thing about Rishabh Pant is, despite that frustrating, sometimes maverick approach to batting, जहां पे वो गिरते हैं, लप्पे मारते हैं, टेस्ट क्रिकेट में ये अप्रोच एक्चुअली काफी सक्सेसफुल रह चुका है. बहुत बार हमने देखा हो, चाहे इंग्लैंड हो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया हो, साउथ अफ्रीका हो. South Africa, there was a fantastic match that lasted barely 3 days. India lost that match. They were down for the count. but the way that he counter-attacked and got that 100 a couple of years ago, it just shows कि इस बंदे को छोड़ दो, इस पे ज्यादा critical मत रहो. Keeping इनकी काफी खराब है पिछले 2 मैच से. But Rishabh Pant is still, I believe Rishabh Pant and Jadeja need to be playing the remainder of these border Gavaskar trophies along with Nitish Rana at number 7. क्योंकि पिछले 4-5 साल में middle order में crisis men हमारे ऋषभ पंत और रविंद्र जडेजा है. उसके बाद you complement those two by putting in Nitish Reddy, who in the last 3 or 4 innings has actually been India's top scorer, 41 and then 2 scores of 42. Can you imagine Rishabh Pant, Jadeja, and then Nitish Reddy? I believe India's batting would be much tougher because frankly we cannot rely on the top 4 right now. And the big issue facing Rohit Sharma is how does he get back to form? How does he inspire this team after a soul-sapping, terrible loss to Australia in Melbourne? चलिए फटाफट कुछ क्वेश्चन लेते हैं आप लोगों से. I'll try and take all of them. Let's see what happens. The doorbell is rang, but I'm not getting up. That must be the car washing guy. It's actually very simple. Just follow the way they batted in Perth second inning. I'm going to stop you here, Kumar Kanishk. बात second innings की नहीं है. समस्या ये है कि पिछले 7 टेस्ट मैचेस से it's the first inning. So if you want to bat the way you do in the second innings in Perth, they're going to have to put that application into the first session because matches are often won in what happens in the first 2 days. We saw that in Adelaide especially. Once the ball gets they should try to be attacking or defend. Correct. But then when this team starts to attack, we all say, yaar, ye attack kyun kar rahe? I think leave the attacking to 2 people. Leave the attacking to Pant and leave the attacking to Nitish Rana. Everybody else, Jaiswal, Rahul, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they need to not attack because when they attack, they get out. They just need to stay at the crease for the longest time. जैसे कि मैंने सीरीज से पहले कहा था, आप 5 सेशन बैटिंग करोगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, आपके 3-3.25 रन आ ही जाएंगे, हो सके 350 आए. लेकिन consistently India in 3 or 4 innings has not been able to bat out more than 2 sessions. Once they get the approach right, once they take some body blows, it just requires patience. That's my assessment. Now the pitch was at most 240 runs, and bilkul we've discussed Rohit Sharma's reflexes have been a long standing problem. Costa, Rohit said tests batting nahi ho rahi. What are your thoughts on him batting with intent instead? Well, we saw the intent against Bangladesh, we saw the intent against New Zealand, but even then, it's not working, my friend. They shouldn't waste the starts. Rahul got a bit excited before getting out. Kohli is an act of going in hard hands. Minor changes. It seems that simple, Manish bhai, कि हम इनको minor changes कह ले, लेकिन ये minor changes इतने सालों से results क्यों नहीं ला रहे हैं भाई? ऐसा लगता है इनका real age 40 है. Well, अगर आपने एक reel देखा IPL के बीच रोहित शर्मा और अमित मिश्रा के बारे में, तो आपको सीधे रोहित ने बहुत कम कहकर अपनी असली एज बता दी उस रील में. प्रेडिक्शन करो नेक्स्ट मैच, अगर गलत हो उसके बाद वाला शो. चलिए, इंडिया इज नॉट विनिंग इन ब्रिस्बेन. ठीक है, कैसन बा? Once okay, we're taking this comment. Darshan, good morning. How are you, my friend? Rohit Sharma will play in middle order. Senior journalist confirmed it. चलिए, I don't know कहाँ पे आपने ये खबर है, but देखते हैं. Let's see what happens. Right now, it's probably a better option. One ordinary performance and the knives are out. Well, no, Rohit Sharma has lost his last 4 test matches. So it's not ordinary, my friend. He's a walking disaster right now. The comparison between the way the Indian team looked under Bumrah in Perth and how it looked under Rohit Sharma, I think we can all agree something is not right in Rohit Sharma's world. So it's definitely not one ordinary performance. Rohit Sharma has overseen 4 test losses in a row. Even the most explosive batter, like you say that, take 40 balls, settle in. That's because they're trying too hard, my friend. They're trying too hard. Sorry, one thing has come from my gate. एक तो my gate में इतना गलत वो होता है entries. Yes, we've discussed this many times. You're right. Jaiswal next, Alistair Coco. बड़ी तारीफ, but हाँ हो सकता है भाई. Need this mindset is now or never. There, WTC को तो भूल जाओ. I don't see the Indian team going. It looks like Australia, South Africa. So let's drop the talk of WTC. Rohit Sharma need work on new stance. बात सही है, reflexes तो अच्छी बात नहीं है. He's struggling. We saw him struggle against Pacers in India. तो यहाँ की बात दूर है. But I don't know. Maybe he's just being weighed down by too much expectation, too much pressure of losing. I mean, you lose 4 tests in a row. you're being slammed left, right, and center. Plus, his batting is not working. So I think it's the end of Rohit Sharma as far as I'm concerned. In a short time, India has become over dependent on Jaiswal. Once he makes runs, whole batting lineup exactly because for years the big names have been too inconsistent, too few hundreds from KL Rahul, from Rohit Sharma, from Virat Kohli, from Shubman Gill, and when Jaiswal comes along and looks so damn good, there will be a level of expectation from him. But I agree. Right now, given how poor the batting is, the top six really have to share the responsibility. Rohit need to play like the way he batted in England series. बिल्कुल, he got 200 7 months ago in the England series at home. But यार सात आठ महीने में इस उम्र में इतना क्रिकेट खेल के जिंदगी बदल सकती है दोस्त. Cracking tests in Australia theoretically is simple. Bat long, run down their quicks, and then take advantage. Bilkul, we saw this in 18, we saw this in 20. But right now, two inexperienced batsmen against four batsmen who have played a lot of cricket, but they're also not sure what the best approach was. So let's see. Gabba mein, which is better, batting first or bowling? I know India pulled off a famous chase, but in places like the Gabba, I would say just take a risk and bat first. Try to get 300 on the board. It's possible, yeah. Shubman Gill wasting chances. Bilkul, he's wasting his chances overseas, but he's not going anywhere soon. He's a 10 to 12-year player. Harry Brooks says seek le Gill. His test career is below par. Bilkul. There's no comparing. There's no comparing Shubman Gill to Harry Brooks. Harry Brooks done some fantastic things across the world. Shubman Gill has scored majority of his runs at home, but he's too good a player to waste these chances. I think except one or two, our batters have no footwork or haven't adjusted their batting deep or outside the crease. Well, we saw Virat Kohli try it in the first match. It didn't work. As soon as he went back, he got some runs, but exactly, he doesn't have any back foot offside game. Tell me, when's the last time you saw him stand tall and do a back foot punch? He doesn't square drive. He doesn't square cut. He jabs the ball, as you're saying. Leg side pe theek hai. You rarely see Virat Kohli caught at short mid-wicket, caught at mid-wicket. He's getting out for the last 4 years, nicking off in the cordon. So his problem is lunging at the ball. He's too much of a front foot player. He needs to find a back foot game in whatever years he has left. Virat Kohli is at a stage where he has to do Sachin to. Bilkul, we've discussed this many times. But it's a big challenge for him. Rahane ko kaun dekhna chahta hai wapas yaar. Rohit Sharma, recall what I said in one of your previous broadcasts, the ball swinging. Bilkul, we saw that. Matt Henry bowled him, the ball coming in. Tim Saudi bowled him with the ball coming in, and one of the Bangladesh pacers also had him. And we saw this by Pat Cummins. He's got a problem. Right now, his bat is coming down a fraction too slow. The angle is closing in. He needs to find a way because otherwise it's curtains for Rohit Sharma before we know it. In 2021, when New Zealand won WTC, then we same Indian fans and experts, including Gautam Gambhir, said New Zealand are not WTC. Absolutely, but that was 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, they hadn't won anything. So 4 years ago, if this were 2021, it's an absolute 100% accurate statement. You cannot take a statement from 3 years ago and compare it to what happened in 2024. After Roko, if we come to Shubman and KL, they have a career average in 30. Do you think these averages have become the new normal? Yes, because we've discussed this many times down the years. Since the WTC came into effect, everyone's batting numbers have dipped because the WTC, or ye hazar baar keh chuka hu, the WTC sports fan puts pressure on results, and it's fantastic. We rarely see. Yesterday was one of the rarest test matches that went into day 5. I'm all for 4-day test matches. मैं कहता हूं अगर WTC के आने से average matches 3-4 दिन में खत्म हो रहे तो do away with the 5-day concept. But going back to your question, batting averages have dipped. They've dipped in South Africa, they've dipped in England, they've dipped in India, they've dipped in Australia. It is a very tough time to be batting, but that is no excuse for people like, more than Gill, I think KL Rahul has played 54 test matches and is averaging about 33-34. Not good enough. And Gill, despite doing very well at home, has a long way to go to improve his game in Sena countries. Why has Pant not gone beyond 30-40 in Australia? भाई इस पूरे सीरीज में जैसे कि मैंने बताया था अभी एक पारी को छोड़ के इंडियन टीम 150 से आगे 2 ही बार गई है. तो जब टीम का एवरेज स्कोर 170 है, पिछले मैच में किसी ने 50 नहीं बनाया. So how can you say it's just Rishabh Pant? Yes, this is a tougher series, but I think in Brisbane, especially, and then Sydney and Melbourne, in the next 3 test matches, you'll see at least 100 from Pant. But right now, too early to criticize because I'm saying Virat Kohli is averaging 10 in the first innings. Rohit Sharma is averaging 8.66 in the first innings. At least the guy, just like Shubman Gill, in a low scoring series where the average score is 160, 30-40 is not bad, my friend. Players from Sena country retires at 35, 36, but our players play till 40. Not to mention they lowered their true age by a year too. Yet so-called propaganda about selfless approach. I'm not sure what the connection between ages and selfless approach propaganda is, so I will ignore that last part. It doesn't make sense to me. But yes, Asian players do try to prolong their game, especially batsmen, as long as we can. And I think that's just an Asian mentality. जब तक मौका है खींच लो, खींच लो, खींच लो. Bounce is not problem for Rohit, but no, bounce is a problem. We saw that Matt Henry had him bounced out in at the Wankhede, so that's problematic. Moving ball, of course. I mean, moving ball to very, very, very few Indian openers have been able to play the bouncing ball very well. The problem with Rohit is, chahe aage ho ya piche ho, he's just getting stuck, and that angle is coming. It's just a reflex situation right now. I hope Shami available for 4 tests. देखते हैं भाई, देखते हैं. एक चीज नोटेबल है कि ऋषभ की मैक्सिमम बड़ी इनिंग्स में एक जीवनदान मिला है. बिल्कुल, जिस तरह से वो खेलते हैं भाई, इनके पास 6 शतक हैं और 7 स्कोर 90 में. और ये जो 7 बार ये 90 में आउट हुए, 7 बार ये खुद की गलती से आउट हुए. बट दैट्स जस्ट हाउ ही प्लेज. ड्रॉप कैचेस, इनसाइड एज. But there is no more entertaining Indian batsman of the modern era to me in Test cricket than Rishabh Pant. Innings defeat loading in Brisbane with this batting lineup. Well, we said the same. I said the same thing in Perth, but they won. But who knows? Predictions in this day and age are becoming very, very tough. Rohit open the batting again is going to be tested. I don't think he'll be opening. I think now he's stuck in the middle order now. I would not be surprised if Rohit. Bilkul, we have discussed the possibility if he leaves it. But Shami coming back, I don't see it happening. India loses one side of the rest of the matches. Chance hai, bhai. I think Sydney, India might do something, but right now, Brisbane to me looks very, very tough here. गुड मॉर्निंग. माइंडसेट प्रॉब्लम है. कोई क्रीज पे टिकना नहीं चाहता. लीव करने वाले बॉल्स को भी बड़े बल्लेबाज चिढ़ जाते हैं. फिर क्या कहें? एग्जैक्टली द वन मैच when the conditions were easy for batting and you chose to leave, you got almost 500 runs. So that's the template, but tough, man. Tough. No. India didn't have the guts to drop Sachin and Dhoni when they were struggling. You think these guys with bigger PR will be dropped? Impossible. Indian cricket के इतिहास में किसी बड़े नाम को ड्रॉप नहीं किया भाई. Yes, we've taken this comment. Kohli's runs came because of Pujara. Due to him, bowler retired and Kohli could make runs. With fresh bowlers, he can't make runs. I wouldn't say Kohli's runs came because of Pujara entirely. I mean, there were innings where Pujara wasn't batting with him and he got big double hundred. So I'm not sure about that statement. I think I'll ignore that one outside the off stump. Jamie over the past year we tried Bangar, Vikram Thornton, Abhishek Nair, where we lacked in red ball batting. Do we need to opt? Sachin was never a leader. He was never a captain. He's not going to be a coach. So I think you've taken the wrong example. To answer your question, you need to look elsewhere. Look overseas for professional batting coaches. क्या सरफराज को opportunity मिल सकती है क्या? मुश्किल है भाई, मुश्किल है. Our batters didn't look confident. I didn't like their intent at all. Losing a game but not even putting up a fight. बिल्कुल, दोनों पारी में flop. We've got a super chat. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your super chat. Kanav. Jay bhai, what do you think the idea of moving? भाई आप कंट्रोवर्सी छेड़ रहे हो यहाँ पे. इंडियन फैंस को तो भाई गोट को तो कोई नहीं बोलता यार हमारे लाइनअप में. No, I see your point. Somebody else asked a similar question yesterday. Yes, there's every reason to expect him, but not in this series. और भाई विराट कोहली को कौन हटाएगा? Like I said, Sachin and Dhoni weren't dropped when they went through terrible times in their latter years. रोहित विराट जैसे प्लेयर्स हमारे देश में स्टार, सबसे बड़े दिग्गज, बॉस, सुपरस्टार, किंग, गोट जैसे बैट्समैन को ड्रॉप नहीं करते. सो विराट कोहली, there's merit. I agree. You could probably try Nitish Reddy, but my friend Kanav, होगा नहीं इस बार. But thank you for your super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. 20 ओवर खेलना है बस, उसके बाद ऑस्ट्रेलिया के पास बॉलर्स खत्म हो जाते हैं. 20 थोड़ा आपने कम बोल दिया. मैं कहता हूं 35 ओवर तक खेलो, ये खुद थक जाएंगे. मैं आपकी बात से बिल्कुल सहमत हूं, लेकिन 20 के बदले मैं 35 तक लेके जाऊंगा उस चीज को. Even Rishabh Pant has underperformed in the first 2 tests. Hopefully a big 100. बिल्कुल, like I said, he's going to get at least 100 if not 2 in the remaining 6 innings. Do you think this WTC system lacking transparency because South Africa played 10 matches and they're 90? Transparency, I'm not sure, Ravi Shankar. Maybe you used the wrong word. Lacking transparency doesn't make sense. I think what you want to say is it fair because some teams have already played more than 10 by this stage, where South Africa have played 10. So I think transparency is the wrong word. Again, ever since this cycle's been in effect, this is now the third cycle. There have been certain teams which have played less matches and spread out more. So is it, I think the word you want to use is lopsided. Is it lopsided? Of course. But transparency is the wrong word. Is Travis Head a slogger? I don't think you watch Travis Head bat. So anyways, I'll ignore that question as well. Without Rocco, Indian can perform a lot better. हाँ, बस 7-8 महीने रुक जाइए, फिर ये दोनों नहीं दिखेंगे टेस्ट टीम में, फिर आप enjoy करिए. I would like to see Prasidh. Yes, I agree. Prasidh Krishna could be an option, but I don't think he's going to play this match. Just want to enjoy the 3 games and not get myself emotionally invested. अब तो controversy भी हो गई. Controversy तो ये लोग जानबूझ के कराते हैं भाई, थोड़ा spice डालने के लिए, कुमार कनिष्क. Somehow it seems that only when India is pushed to the wall and have new inexperienced players, they perform their best. Does it prove that the hunger to excel is more? बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो अंशुल, बिल्कुल सही. I have raised this topic across formats, चाहे one-day हो या T20 हो या Test हो. In the past 5-6 years, whenever newer players have been pushed to the corner, Shubman Gill had a brilliant Australia debut series, one of the finest Indian batsmen to emerge from that series. Rishabh Pant, not the Gabba series, but in his first series when he was very young in England, he got 100 in his first tour. He was young. People said he's not ready. He got 100. Then he goes to Australia for his first tour and gets 100 at Sydney, a big 100 in 2018-19. Dhruv Jurel this year in his second test match, 91 and 39 not out, man of the match. Youngsters coming in, Jaiswal, it just proves that right now, see, the point is, Anshul, जब सीनियर्स काफी साल से इनकंसिस्टेंट रह चुके हैं, you may as well give a chance. Sarfaraz Khan has been inconsistent, but he showed in his first 5-6 test matches that he can get runs. So I am all for, I believe experience, आज के टाइम पे experience, जब से WTC आया है, experience is massively overrated, and it's not the same experience we used to associate when he talked about it 10 years before. न्यूजीलैंड सीरीज एक केक वॉक थी, जो बिल्कुल इस पे तो हम बहुत शो कर चुके हैं. बाय टेस्ट में क्रीज ऑक्यूपाई करना फर्स्ट है, बिल्कुल, और यही बात तो इंडियन टीम भूल चुकी है. पिछले 5 टेस्ट मैच में 6 बार इंडियन टीम 200 तक नहीं पहुंच पाई फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में. तो आप मैच कैसे जीतोगे? आईसीसी शुड बैन पिंक बॉल टेस्ट मैच. ये बंदा ऐसा क्यों सोच रहा है? लाइन अश्विन ने कितने विकेट लिया 3-डे मैच में? स्पिनर का कोई काम नहीं है. हाँ, दोनों टेस्ट मैचेस में स्पिनर का कोई योगदान नहीं रहा, जो कि सरप्राइजिंग है, क्योंकि नेथन लायन का रिकॉर्ड पर्थ में और फिर एडिलेड में किसी के आसपास नहीं. ही हैज द बेस्ट रिकॉर्ड एट पर्थ ऑप्टिस स्टेडियम एज वेल एज द पिंक बॉल, लेकिन दोनों मैच में फुस. सो हु नोस, मे बी यू प्ले 5 पेसर. Pant's defense technique is really questionable. Again, if you're going to pick out one innings, have you seen what the guy's done since his debut? Khair chhodiye. Not going to go there. If you really watched Pant, you wouldn't have made that statement. Hi, Jamie. Because of Rohit's captaincy, India will lose. No, you don't. Naveen, you don't lose a test match because of someone's captaincy, right? Rohit Sharma, yes, the captain should get the praise and the flack. But when overall your top 6 is not performing, when in 3 out of 4 innings, you can't even get to 200, is that the captain's fault? Not at all. The captain is part of the problem. It's not his fault if the bowlers don't do the job and the batsmen don't score runs. We all should be happy for SA, but just as Stokes said, you can game the system like they're playing majority 2-match series. You can game the system like they, whereas India played 5 versus all. Exactly. That was what I was telling Ravi Shankar. Lopsided nature of Test cricket, and it's very obvious why it's lopsided. That gives certain teams an advantage and more teams a disadvantage. That this time Australians prepared for punts similar like England did in 2021. It sure seems like it, but I'm telling you, he will end up India's probably second highest run getter in this series, if not highest run getter. Are they missing Shardul Thakur? The Shardul Thakur of 3 years ago, yes, not the current Shardul Thakur, no. रोहित और कोहली सिर्फ ब्रॉडकास्टर के लिए खेल रहे. हर्षित बहुत घटिया इंक्लूजन है टीम में. घटिया शब्द का उपयोग तो मैं नहीं कहूंगा, but like I said, despite doing very, very well in Perth, he shouldn't have played the pink ball test. Akashdeep was more suited to that setup. Senior players should be removed like in 2011-12. They should be, but पता नहीं भाई देखते हैं. You read every comment. You're the best. Well, Ved Prakash, thank you for your compliment. I try, but sometimes it does get. I think I'm going to go back to put that 3-minute time filter. जब से मैंने 3 को 2 किया, बहुत लोग multiple सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, and sometimes it gets hard to answer everyone's questions. Pant has been successful, but runs ना आए तो कब तक बोले ऐसा ही खेलता है. Again, I understand your frustration, and yes, there have been times when he's gotten out strange. But if you look at his career, I'm thinking, take out an hour, go through all his scorecards. More than scorecards, look at the situation, the scorecard when he's walked in, and you'll find that his failures are actually about 35, 30, 40%. And in this modern era where batting has become tough, he's actually a hero. Rohit Sharma started as middle order batsman, now going to end as middle order batsman. Looks like it, my friend. Looks like it. Swap at 52. India last 2 series 4 pacer के साथ खेला. ये series 3 pacers. 3 pacers plus Nitish Reddy as the 4th seamer. And he's been pretty good here. I hope Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma happen to be on the same page. Yes, this was topic of yesterday's show. We discussed the same thing. I don't think they are. If India bring Jadeja for Ashwin to consolidate his batting, it will be infuriating since we can conclude we have no clarity. Bilkul, it seems very, very confusing what India want to do in this series. You think Kohli should bat at 3? No. If this form continues, the only option, like someone suggested, is Kohli can only go down. When you're struggling, when you're nicking off every other innings, you don't go higher. You go lower, because the lower you play, the easier it is for you. There's no Fab 4 in Test right now. There's only one Fab 1, and it's Root. Well, there's Root for sure, head and shoulders. But Kane Williamson coming back after a few months, he at least got that 91. That's way more than Virat Kohli and Steve Smith are managing these days. I fear T20 is making more hit-the-deck bowlers who can increase their speed seem as a bowling order is. T20 has a lot of positives and negatives. We've got a super chat from International 3191. Thank you, my friend. Jobi Apo, Gumnam viewer. Would you play 4 fast bowlers in Gabba MCG? Gabba, I might be tempted to. MCG, no. But Gabba, I would be tempted to. Yes, बिल्कुल. अगले WTC में कंपल्सरी है सबको 3 टेस्ट सीरीज खेलना. I agree with you. ऐसा होना चाहिए. Win and retain BGT first. Win. Tough है भाई. Tough है. Who's the better all-rounder between Ashwin Sundar at the moment? At the moment, based on current form, Washington Sundar. No doubt. Rohit should step. Yes. किशन, ये सवाल पिछले 2 shows में कई बार आ चुका है और इस पे हम सब agree कर चुके हैं. Even in 2021 Test series, India beat Australia with a very young. बिल्कुल. We've discussed this many times. Have to do it. Rishabh Pant is MVP. बिल्कुल. He's the GOAT. He's India's greatest test keeper of all time. Look at the results. He performed mostly in press situation or tricky pitch. बिल्कुल, he does. But unfortunately, too many fans look at the last 2 innings and say, भाई ये कुछ करता नहीं है. नहीं भाई. अगर आप actual cricket fan अपने आप को मानते हो, 1 घंटा निकालिए अपने लाइफ का. स्टैट्स गुरु खोल के इनका इनिंग्स बाय इनिंग्स देखिए, होम एंड अवे, फर्स्ट इनिंग्स, सेकंड इनिंग्स, और स्कोर कार्ड देखिए. स्कोर कार्ड क्या था जब ऋषभ पंत ने अपने करियर के सबसे बेस्ट 10-12 इनिंग्स खेले? आपको जवाब खुद मिल जाएगा. Rahul needs to bat at 6. Yes, we've discussed this many times. I still believe overall he's the best option to bat at 6. But right now, Rohit and his walking wicket syndrome, I don't think he's fit to open. So it's just another conundrum for India. Arindam पूछ रहे हैं, for me, Scott Boland is more lethal Hazelwood. In Australia, definitely. Took 5 wickets in this match, and you wonder how does he do it. Definitely, I would play him more in Australia. बिल्कुल, ये मैंने कल भी कहा था, ये मैंने परसों भी कहा था, ये मैंने उस दिन भी कहा था. मैंने 4-5 बार कहा है कि इसको, बंदे को, आगे बहुत खेले गए, लेकिन ब्रिस्बेन के लिए ड्रॉप करो. Have you seen Pradosh Ranjan Paul? I have not actually seen him bat. No, I have not. But let's see. Correct. I mean, the day is not far where you're going to have to pack your team with youngsters, my friend. क्या दिन आ गए आरसीबी फैंस के? क्या आरसीबी ये कोई टीम है? Focus on winning. Yes, we've already done that. Do you agree with Joe Root's statement? Brooke is by far and away the best player in the world. I mean, obviously, it comes from a sense of backing your own teammate who's an Englishman. And let's face it, Brooke has had a fantastic career. But he's yet to score. He's yet to play in India. He's yet to play in Australia. So until you score in the 2 toughest countries, he's also not scored in South Africa. Until It's a great statement. Harry Brook looks very good. He's a rightful entrant in the future Fab Four. But until you played in Australia, until you played in South Africa, until you played in India, you cannot be anywhere the best in the world. So I understand Joe Root's backing his own teammate, a little bit of a rose-tinted, biased view, but साउथ अफ्रीका, इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ये बंदा नहीं खेल चुका है टेस्ट क्रिकेट, कहां से आप इसको बेस्ट कह रहे हो भाई? Road defensive field cost us test matches. Yes, we've discussed this many times. It has, in fact, led, but it's not been the only reason for defeat. It's a big factor, yes. Taking this question. India missing Pujara. I mean, in theory, yes, but his run of low scores, I mean, he's the only one to blame for his exit from the team. So, again, no point looking back. We have to move on. हैरी ब्रुक एंड ट्रेविस हेड जैसे पे इंडिया के पास क्यों नहीं टुक टुक वाले ही क्यों हैं? नहीं, हमारे पास बहुत टुक टुक की बात नहीं, आजकल सारे शॉट मार के आउट हो रहे हैं. हमें टुक टुक वाले चाहिए इस टीम में. इस टीम में टुक टुक वाले हैं ही नहीं भाई कोई. Worst thing for Virat Kohli is in 4 innings he hasn't faced 200 balls, out of which 150 played in 1 innings. बिल्कुल, this has been a problem for the last 4 years, my friend Siddharth. Arshdeep should be there. Yes, Multan Singh हमने डिस्कस किया बहुत बार सीरीज से पहले. Also, भैया no other bowler contributed in the last match. बिल्कुल, like Rohit Sharma said, बुमराह दोनों छोर से डालेंगे, बुमराह सुबह शाम तक डालेंगे. The other pacers have to stand up, भाई. रोको को क्या हो गया? कितना ब्लाइंड सपोर्ट करेंगे? Well, ये आप जैसे फैंस ही जवाब दे सकते हैं. I know where I stand. I've been very frank, very ruthless in my assessment of these two over the past 2 years. I know where I stand on these two. आप लोग देखिए अपना. Do you think some ODI players and T20 players should get a chance for India and Test? I can't think of any specific T20 white ball player who's done anything good enough to get into the Test team right now. So batsman की बात कर रहा हूँ. Arshdeep Singh should be there, yes. बाकी my answer is no, my friend. सहिन बम्बा, रोहित शर्मा beaten by pace of Cummins, he should retire. बिल्कुल, बहुत हमने डिस्कस किया है ये. Thanks, Jamie, for reflecting on my previous question. Thank you for asking the question. But all said and done, I would still thank the senior gang for all years they got it. But now expect the management to pull the plug. Bilkul, we have, like I said, we have so many good memories to be thankful for, to salute these guys. लेकिन जैसे कि लाइफ में होता है, हर चीज की एक्सपायरी हो जाती है और ये सीनियर्स एक्सपायरी के बहुत करीब आ चुके हैं. Multan Singh, shukriya, my friend, for the super chat. Love you. Still can understand Harshit. My friend, 6-7 शोज में मैंने कहा था ये बात. मैं अर्शदीप को इस सीरीज से पहले उनको एटलीस्ट 2 टेस्ट मैच में खिलाना चाहता था पर्सनली, अगर मैं होता वहां पे, बट नहीं हुआ. आई एग्री विद यू, ही शुड हैव प्लेड. थैंक यू माय फ्रेंड सुपर चैट. कीपिंग टेक्निक of Jurel is better than Pant. He also played good innings. बिल्कुल. Jurel looks very good, but unfortunately the sample size is too small, man. I think we can all agree. It's too small to remove someone like Pant. Pant could play as a batsman if he keeps fumbling and dropping catches, but Pant is not going out of the 11. He, along with Jaiswal, are the 2 undroppable Indian batsmen right now. Gill is technically weak. Front foot goes across, and bilkul, we've seen. That's why he's averaging about 29-30. But I think he's averaging 24-25 in Sena countries. जयदीप कह रहे हैं लाइक ठोको दोस्तों, सिर्फ 30 लाइक्स. बिल्कुल, सवाल आ चुके हैं कम से कम 80, जिनका मैं जवाब दे चुका हूं, प्रॉब्ली ऑल ऑफ देम, बट लाइक सिर्फ 30 का है. आप लोग लाइक नहीं ठोकेंगे तो मैं आपके क्वेश्चंस नहीं लूंगा. फेयर इनफ, जयदीप इज राइट. 80 सवाल आ चुके हैं तकरीबन बाय माय काउंट, और सिर्फ 30 लाइक्स. इसी बात पर आई थिंक आई एम गोना स्टार्ट रिजेक्टिंग सम कमेंट्स. इफ यू हैव नॉट लाइक द बटन, डोंट आस्क अ क्वेश्चन. फेयर इनफ, आई थिंक इट्स फेयर. Ocean Sky, would broadcasters like it? No. Half these guys are still playing because of broadcaster pressure, yaar. We all know it, yaar. It's an unspoken truth. India जो प्रैक्टिस में अच्छा करता है उससे बैठा देता है, लाइक जुरेल मुकेश, और जिसको खिलाना था उस ए टूर में नहीं भेजा. हर्षित के बेचारे क्या करे, साथ ही शामी थोड़ी ना बन जाएंगे. सही बात है. स्मिथ का क्या होगा भाई? स्मिथ फेल हो जाए, रूट फेल हो जाए, इसमें हमारा ही फायदा है भाई. There is no dearth of talent. We need to make each player really earn. बिल्कुल. रिंकू हैज द गेम, ही कैन बी ट्राइड इन टेस्ट. अभी तो फिलहाल जो खेले हैं उनको थोड़ा जज करो, जो नहीं खेले उनको हम देख सकते हैं बाद में. नेक्स्ट साइकिल सबकी बारी आएगी. इफ आकाश दीप विल प्ले, देयर विल बी नो बॉलर हु कैन बॉल बाउंसर्स, इट विल बी वन डायमेंशनल अटैक. ठीक है, बट डू यू नीड बाउंसर्स ऑल द टाइम? यू कैन गेट बाउंसर्स आउट ऑफ सिराज इफ ही ट्राइज. इट्स नॉट हिज नेचुरल स्टाइल, बट लुक, Harshit Rana tried to bounce the ball in Adelaide and he looked out of depth. So right now, focus on the better skilled bowlers. Forget the bounce. मैंने लाइक कर दिया भाई, शुक्रिया अमन, थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू। इंडिया नीड्स ओनली वन रिलायबल बॉलर बुमराह, यस एंड दैट शुड बी आकाशदीप। बबूमा पे कोई कमेंट किया? बबूमा इस टॉपिक से, भाई इंडिया क्रिकेट की बात कर रहे हैं, बबूमा जाए तेल लेने, मुझे क्या लेना बबूमा से यार। Do you think there should be no pink ball? No, no. I've already. This question was asked to me on Cricket Next, and here I'm saying do it. Michael Vaughan asked the question. Someone asked it to me. I said Michael Vaughan can go jump in the lake. I'm all for pink ball test match because it gives you results and it gives you entertainment. Every marquee series should have one pink ball test matches. But Ashes will have 5 test games. So how will that work with WTC? Every team that plays 5 test matches, and there are only 3 of them, England, Australia, India, have a distinct advantage. But that's been the case since the last 5 years, and no one's raised a doubt. So there's playing 5 has no impact on that. It's the teams that only play 2, 3, they're the ones that have a disadvantage. Gill scored 90 in previous match and looked best in last one. Bilkul, like I said, it was his fault. He played over a slower ball from Boland. उसमें उनकी लापरवाही थी, लेकिन स्टार्क वाले गेंद को लेकर भाई, look at the Stark game. This was a terrific ball. So I agree with you. It's a bit, we're being a bit too harsh on Gill right now. Bradman Lawrence, क्या नाम है भाई? Naturally, India had only one fast bowler, that is Bumrah. With one quick one, you can expect to win. We need better bowlers. चलिए, last question from Sushant. Voice, a guy with 0 IPL trophy is India's greatest test captain, while a guy with 5 IPL trophy is India's worst. You're talking about Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. चलिए, time की बात है, but the fact is that right now it doesn't matter how many IPL trophies you've won. If you're not scoring runs, you're not making the right field placements, आप ज़्यादा मैच नहीं जीत पाओगे. चलिए, we're up to 42 minutes. I'm off. You guys have a great day. ठीक है, मैं ये सब बंद कर रहा हूँ. Shut the banners down, shut everything down. Thank you for watching. कल कुछ और टॉपिक लेके आएंगे हम. Have a great Tuesday. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button before you go. Goodbye, Tata, Jai Hind.